Okay, so after we've done both legs in the sideline position, we're going to transition up to the working on the abdomen. So we're going to come to the person's right hand side, and we're going to sit in sesa, and we're going to start working all the points that are associated with all the organs in the body in the abdominal area. And we're going to start right, first of all, we want to make sure that when we approach the abdomen again, we want to keep in mind how vulnerable an area this is. So we want to make sure that through our sense of touch we convey that that person is in control. And one of the best ways of doing that is just working with their breath, both going in and out of the abdomen, only following their breath. So we'll start just below the sternum, the xiphoid process. And on the exhale, you're going to sink in. And as you look down on the abdomen, you're just going to work in a clockwise manner, up underneath the ribs, and down. And this diagram is in your handouts, and it shows all of the reflex points in the abdomen. And as you come down the side, you're going to come just on the inside of the ASIS, and as you work below the navel, you're going to come just above the pubic ramus. And then you're going to work back up. And make sure on this first pass that you're going to come up underneath the rib cage, so that your pressure takes you up underneath the rib cage, just following their breath. And you notice this isn't big movements, that I'm making nice contact with the person, that my other hand is in contact, and I'm just trying to keep a nice sense of posture and integrity in my own body as I'm working. And then I just start to make a second pass where the circle gets smaller and smaller, ensuring that I get all the points in the abdomen, in the Hara area. That you're breathing along with them. And if you're working on someone and their breath is really shallow, or for some reason you're not feeling their breath, you can just ask them to take some deeper breaths in and out of their abdomen. So it not only is it good for the technique, but it's also good for them. Later on, when we talk about this a little bit more in detail, this is also traditionally used as a form of diagnosis. So you could use Hara massage as a form of diagnosis, because if you knew where all these points were and what they stood for, if you went into an area and it was either excessively hard or soft or hot or cold, you could determine through that sense of palpation what meridians are out of balance, and you can go back and work on those specifically. So this is traditionally not only a way of balancing the body in general, but also it can be a specific diagnosis if you take the time to learn where those reflexes are. So after the circles that cover the abdomen, I'm going to go right up the center. And this center meridian, I mentioned earlier in the lecture that was preparing you for the first quiz, was that there are two meridians that run right up the center of the body. This one is the conception vessel, and it runs right up the center of the body. One thing that we're learning here is that when we move and we're doing technique, we want to make sure that we move with the technique and we don't stay back where we're compromising our lower back or our sense of balance. So right up to the manubrium. Then once we get to the head, we're just going to then place the inside hand in the upper fibers of pec major and let your fingers curl over the shoulder, and you're going to be adding compression here. When we work the arms, and we'll talk about it a little bit more specifically later, there's 3 lines of energy, 3 meridians that run through the arm here. And this compression generally opens up that whole area. The 3 meridians all start in and around the chest, and they run through the arm. The one yin meridian that we know about is the lung meridian that we talked about, that starts in the chest and ends in the thumb. So this nice general compression, the whole length of the arm and the hand. And just to bring a little bit more specificity to it, we're going to work with digital thumb compression into the hand. Now these 3 meridians that I talked about, one goes through the thumb, one goes through the center or the middle finger, and one goes through the little finger. So that when we apply digital thumb compression in the hand, we'll just add that. We're just going to work the thumb, and then right through the middle of the palm and out the middle finger. And then right into the palm again and right out the little finger. So that'll get those 3 meridians. And once we've done that, we're just going to take the hand with us and still and seiza, come back and give it a nice stretch. And you'll notice I'm using my body weight to do the stretch. Leaning back. And you're going to hold that. Not only does it open up the shoulder, but it stretches the entire arm and the connective tissue or the fascia in the arm, so it allows the meridians to start to open up a little bit. And then you're going to place the arm palm down on the mat, and you're going to do compression here for there's 3 meridians on this side of the arm that start on the hand and end on the face. So we're just going to take it up to the shoulder. And you notice my body posture. If you're down here and trying to compress, you're going to be off balance. But if you come up, and again, you're Hara over the work, you can more readily just compress. Take it right up to the top of the shoulder. And then use this arm as transition here to come up and transition to the other arm. And we're going to do a nice little overhand stretch. Place the arm that you just did down. Then we're going to come to this side. And we're going to repeat the same here. So the video you're looking at, if you fast forward it, it would look like this. Okay. Another nice stretch. And then this way we can position, so because the next section after this is working the head, neck, and shoulders, and this is how we start that. So this is how we'll end this one, by just doing some compressions here on the top of the shoulders. Okay.